welcome back to my channel. It is July 29th, I believe, and it is a Sunday, so I decided I would do a Q&A for you guys. I asked you guys to ask me some questions on Instagram, so I will answer a few of them now. Let's get started on this video. Do you track your greens / superfood? Yes, I did start tracking it because it does have 4 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fat, and 1 gram of protein. If it was only like 1 carb or 2 carbs, I wouldn't track it, but that does add up pretty quickly, and that is like around 30 calories, so I do track it. What's your major business? Do you feel anxious about things, and how do you deal with it? I do get anxious about things, especially like when it comes to social media. Take a step back and like make a plan for yourself. So I like to write stuff down and make like an end goal, so like have a specific date, but I always make sure that it's like enough time that it's like realistic. So I do get anxious about things like that. How old were you when you started your first prep? I was 17. Favorite cheat meal? If it's in the morning, definitely pancakes. If it's at night, definitely a burger and sweet potato fries. But pancakes will forever have my soul. I love breakfast food. Breakfast food is life. Maintaining relationships with friends and boyfriend on prep when exhausted, stressed, and restricted. That's a good question. So honestly, my last prep I did get very bitchy. I was super moody. I wasn't nice to anyone. I didn't like who I became throughout my prep. I just like became so focused on like myself, and all I cared about was myself, that I didn't care about other people or how I was treating them or how I was making them feel. Because I seriously like couldn't feel anything. Like I didn't have any emotions. I was like heartless. I lost who I was, and it was terrible. But that's another reason why I'm taking this entire year off, just because I need to mentally. I need to prepare myself for a prep, and like to not let my prep get in the way of like my relationships and my friendships and being nice to people. Like you choose to do this, so you just have to like learn to cope with it and not let it out on anyone else. Advice for someone wanting to compete but has an unsupportive family. I would say if you could financially afford it yourself, go for it. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to do what's gonna make you happy. There's certain moments in life where you have to be a little bit selfish, and if there's something you really want to do and you have your heart and your mind set to it, and you just want to achieve this for yourself, then that's a time that you have to be selfish and do this for you and not worry about what other people are going to think, if it's what's truly going to make you happy. And I know that not everyone's going to be supportive, not everyone understands this sport, but try to not even ask them for acceptance when it comes to it, but just like to not be unsupportive about it either, to just let you do it, let you set that goal for yourself and let you do what you want to do to make you happy. Why did you decide to switch coaches? What made you decide to compete again? I did a whole Instagram post. I'm going to put my Instagram somewhere down here on why I switched coaches. So I don't want to get into detail on that right now, but it was nothing against my other coach. I loved my other coach, but it was just time for change. And what made me decide to compete again was that I just freaking love this sport. Like I love setting goals. I love how dedicated and how much willpower you have to have for it. I've discussed this in my previous YouTube video, so if you haven't seen that one already, go get a look at it, because I talk about like my improvement season plans and all of that. But yes, I am going to compete again. I love this sport. I want to turn pro. I know I could do it. I know I have the willpower, the dedication, the physique to do great in this sport. So I'm competitive. I like to set new goals for myself and see what I could achieve if I just set my mind to something. Have you ever hurt yourself from raving and or shuffling? Yes. Raving, actually at Ultra I was headbanging so hard that my freaking chin was banging against my chest, and I got a bruise here and here. So that was from headbanging. And shuffling, I have sprained my ankle, and like I don't think it was at a festival or anything. It was just at home, And I have actually bruised the bottom of my heels as well, because when I first started I was obviously doing it wrong, and I was like putting so much pressure on my heels that I bruised my heels. So yes, I have. What is the hardest part about prep for you? Honestly, the hardest part has to be just the low energy, because like sometimes you want to actually go do something or like be with friends or like go out, but like you're just so low energy that like you physically can't. And I also hate that it kind of like fucks with my hormones and kind of messes with like who I am as a person, which I'm gonna try to like not let that happen again, because I know that that's very mental as well. What is your favorite Oreo flavor? I love how I cannot answer this. Honestly, nothing is more satisfying than a regular double stuffed Oreo. Just a regular freaking double stuffed Oreo. Like all the cool like fancy flavors, like kettle corn was bomb, like all the fancier flavors are delicious, but like there's nothing more satisfying than just dipping a double stuffed regular original Oreo into whole milk, letting it soak in there, letting it get all moist. Sorry if you guys don't like that word, but and then just it gets kind of soggy and it just kind of melts in your mouth. That is so satisfying. So yeah, the original is probably actually my favorite, but all the other flavors are obviously super cool and like delicious. My second favorite would have to be the cookie butter one, and then my third favorite is definitely the cinnamon one. Best advice for trimming muscular thighs? That's just gonna come with like doing a lot of cardio and being in a deficit. Yeah, especially being in a deficit, since you're not gonna be like feeding your muscles, and like doing certain kinds of cardio. Like for people with big thighs, I don't really recommend like doing the Stairmaster and stuff like that. Or if you have a lot of muscle on your thighs, like I would not recommend doing something that's just gonna work them out more. I would do something more like HIIT cardio, sprints, walking incline, the elliptical would probably help a lot with that. So things like that, but basically mostly cardio and obviously being in a deficit. Does it frustrate you how your calories are still relatively low in your off season? Actually, my calories really aren't that low. They're like at around 1750 calories now. Like they're moderate, and I don't really care because I'm losing weight while they're continuing to increase, so I know that I'm gonna be able to like continue increasing them weekly. So it doesn't really bother me. I'm eating like 175 carb right now, 50 fat, and 140 protein. My favorite music festival that I've been to, probably SMF, because I mean I honestly haven't been to that many music festivals. I'm gonna be going to a lot this year, so I'm very excited. But I've gone to 2 this year, like a bunch of like little events, but my favorite one so far has been SMF. However, I know that my favorite one ever is probably either gonna be EDC or Lost Dance, so I'm super excited. Fave pre-workout, Steel Pump by Steel Fit. You can use my discount code FITK for 10% off on your order. And if you just want to try it out instead of buying a whole bottle, they also do sell sample packs, so feel free to do that as well. But yes, that is my favorite pre-workout. What made you decide to prep for a show again? I already discussed this. How do you feel about competing again while balancing college? I mean, honestly, I've been competing since I was 17, going to school, doing shows, waking up at 4 in the morning to do cardio. Like, it's something I know I could definitely 100% do. And I only have class 3 times a week in college, and it's from like 11 to 2. So I'm for sure going to be able to balance it out, especially when I start working as well. I'm for sure going to be able to balance it out. I know what I'm capable of. I just need to make sure to make time for everything. So just wake up really early and get my shit done. I don't care if I have to wake up at 6 in the morning. I don't care if I have to wake up at 4. It's gonna get done because I freaking want it. To see my cuts, should I take a fat burner or a diet? I wouldn't recommend taking a fat burner right away. Just hop on your diet. Supplements aren't going to do the work for you. What's going to do the work for you is yourself doing some more cardio and making sure you're in a caloric deficit. That's how you're going to burn fat. Advice for someone wanting to compete but has an unsupported family. I feel like I already answered that. Do you count total carbs or net carbs? Total carbs. I count all my fiber. I count all my sugar alcohols. Everything. This is the best advice you could give to someone who just started their fitness journey. The best advice I could give you is to not let it take over your entire life, because I feel like that happens with a lot of people. They start and then they start seeing these results, and then like they're just never good enough in their eyes, so they become so obsessed with it that they let it take over their lives. They take their meals everywhere. They get scared to go out to eat. They become food obsessed. That was all me. That happened to me. I wouldn't want to see it happen to anyone else. So just make sure you're still living a balanced lifestyle. Go out to eat with your family. Just make healthy decisions. You know what's healthy and you know what's not. At the same time, if you want to have pancakes one day with your family at brunch, like, don't restrict yourself either. Just eat clean like 80 to 90% of the time, and then that other 10 to 20%, enjoy yourself. Now, if you're on a contest prep, that's a completely different story. But just don't let fitness become your life. Just continue letting it be a part of your life. That's the best advice I could give someone who just started. Alright guys, that is gonna conclude this video for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the comment box below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you guys want to see a YouTube video on binge eating and bulimia and how I've been doing in that part of my life and how I got over it and how I'm still getting over it daily, because it is a daily struggle. If you want to see a video on that, give this video a thumbs up and comment down below.